Hey there, this is Dan of justpickuptheguitarandgo.com. This is a second lesson that I'm doing of the positions of the major scale. Now we're talking about the G major scale, so we're coming everything off of this chord right here, this G major chord. We're going to go into the second position, and the chord that we're going to use for this position is going to be an A minor 7 chord. So it's going to sound like this. Or we can also play like this. Put my pinky on the 8th fret of the 2nd string. Okay, which makes it a C7 chord, but it's basically still an A minor 7. And I'll put that on the screen for you. I'll map that out for you. So this shape right here is going to work really well over the second shape of the G major positions, right? The ones that we're doing, right? But it's going to be your Dorian mode if I'm using that chord. So you got to think about it in terms of what are you playing over. If I'm playing everything over C major, or sorry, G major, then I'm playing that major scale, right? And then I can go into that second shape resolves back. But let's say that I wanted to play in that second position box, right, that scale shape that I'm about to show you, which is your Dorian mode, and I kept everything in that key, right? I kept everything in the A minor key, in this case the A minor 7. A minor would work. Dorian's kind of a minor scale shape, but A minor would work, but I'm going to do an A minor 7. So that's your key, right? So then I'm going to play this. Even when I go back to major, it's still going to sound Dorian. It's still going to sound minor, right? See, I went back into the major box and it still sounded minor because I'm playing in that Dorian box. So that Dorian shape is going to be played on your 6th string at 5, 7, 8. And usually when you see that 1, 3, 4 pattern right there, 1, 3, 4, where I'm playing with my first finger, my third finger, and my pinky, whatever that thing is. So I'm doing a whole step and a half step. So whole step, half step. Whenever you see that starting out of scale, it's usually minor. Ionian's going to be like that. Dorian's going to be like that. And then there are major ones, like the major scale is usually just going to be like your first finger and your third finger. And then when you get into like your Phrygian and your Locrian and things like that, it's usually first finger, second finger, and pinky. So they sound more diminished. So major is usually going to be that 1, 3 pattern, which is Lydian, Mixed Lydian, and Ionian. And then Dorian and Aeolian are usually going to be your minor shapes. And then your diminished shapes, your Locrian and your Phrygian, are 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, right? 1, 2, 4 for Locrian is 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. And then, and I know I'm jumping ahead, but if you watched my other lessons, right? If you got my free course, which you can get at justpickuptheguitarandgo.com, justpickuptheguitarandgo.com. Because that's what I want you to be able to do, right? Justpickuptheguitarandgo.com. But if you get my free course and you check that out, you'll see what I mean when I talk about the anchor shapes and the 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3 pattern, which I talk about quite a bit in some of my previous lessons and also in my free course. You'll see that when we're doing these finger placements, you'll understand what I mean when I say the 1, 3, 4, the 1, 2, 4, the 1, 3. So when I talk about the anchor shapes, there are basically 3 of them. There's your 1, 3 pattern, your 1, 2, 4 pattern, and your 1, 3, 4 pattern. Your 1, 3 pattern would be your first finger and your ring finger. Your 1, 3, 4 pattern would be your first finger, your ring finger, and your pinky. And then your 1, 2, 4 pattern would be your first finger, your middle finger, and your pinky. And then the way I think about it is if a scale shape starts with 1, 3, it's probably major, Lydian, Mixed Lydian, and Ionian. If it starts with 1, 3, 4, then it's probably minor, Dorian, Aeolian. If it starts with 1, 2, 4, then it's probably Locrian or Phrygian, and it's diminished. So that's just a way to think about it. Now, of course, these scale shapes, these positions that we're playing in along the fretboard are 7 shapes of one particular scale. In this case, I'm starting with the G major scale. So that's really a major, it's the second position of the major scale. I'm just trying to help you understand that you can play Dorian. If I make that the root, whatever I'm playing over is going to kind of define the emotion of the scale. And then that's going to be a minor sounding scale, a Dorian sounding scale. So how do you play that Dorian sounding scale? You play it on the 6th string at 5, 7, 8, 5th string at 5, 7, the 4th string at 4, 5, 7, and also the 3rd string at 4, 5, 7, and the 2nd and the 1st strings at 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 8. And that is your Dorian scale. So don't forget, I do have a free course out there. Just pick up the guitar and go.com. Go check it out. Check out the page. Got all kind of cool information on there for you. Sign up. Get on my email list. I'll let you know when I got new lessons coming out. I'll let you know when I put new stuff out on my Patreon. And I've also got some affiliates that I'll let you know about. Really cool stuff, right? If you get on my mailing list, you get all kinds of cool stuff. And you get a free course. So win-win. Just pick up the guitar and go.com.